October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and WINGS is encouraging you to join the mission to end the cycle.
The programs help hundreds of people each year, thanks to the generosity and commitment of the community. Rebecca and Sarah join us with more. Welcome to you both.
Thank you so much.
Okay, first off, congratulations, Rebecca. You're the president and CEO of WINGS.
It's an honor to be the president and CEO.
Yeah, 40 years celebrating.
40 years we're celebrating this year.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the work you guys have been doing.
Over the last 40 years, we have grown WINGS to be the largest domestic violence program in the state of Illinois. We offer emergency safe house shelter both in the city and in the suburbs, and we have long-term housing, counseling services that go after that. So our families get up to 2-3 years of support so that they can really get back on their feet. In addition to that, we have counseling available to people in the community who need to safety plan to get out of their situation, and that is really, really important because that's the most dangerous time for someone.
And Sarah, that's kind of where you come in. My goodness, you have faced some harrowing situations as you were growing up and had to go to a safe house with WINGS. Tell us a little bit about that and how that kind of changed the trajectory of your life.
Yeah, so I came in, it was 20 years ago this year. I had 2 kids in diapers and came into the program and was able to get back on my feet after going through transitional, and then ended up serving on the board and getting more involved in volunteering and then launching my own place. And so been around for a long time.
Well, we think you're so inspirational, and thank you so much for sharing your story, because I think hearing it from someone who's gone through it is so meaningful for somebody out there potentially watching that may be going through it as well. And here's the thing, I mean, you might not realize what your family and friends are going through. I mean, I think we all have had people in our lives that have gone through this situation, and that's why it's so crucial to have an organization like WINGS available. Can you guys tell us some of the red flags maybe for folks out there that are trying to be aware of what their friends or family might be going through?
I think the one that is the hallmark and the most subtle that people don't realize when they're in it and family members watching it happen is the honey, I love you so much, you don't need to be with them because you have me now. And while that isn't something you take to the police, isn't something you take for an order of protection, and it's the biggest form of power and control, controlling them. And the isolation is the beginning, and it's the first sign and the most subtle sign that it's starting.
And another form of isolation really is, I'm assuming, the financial aspect of it. If you feel like you're tied into something where you don't have the means to get out, you need a place like WINGS to help.
That's right. The number one reason people stay and the number one reason people have to go back is money, because they don't have access to money. And this is true for every community, including places like the North Shore. And if you don't have money and you don't have access to money, you can't leave. And so that is why it is so critical to have, resources available to them and really support them, and Sarah will talk about, what her abuse did to her in terms of suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and the Dynamis House that she started, and now I get to serve on her board to help those individuals. But yeah, the physical that you went through.
Yeah, I think for people to be able to recognize if you're struggling to figure out what's abuse and what's not, understanding that it's all based on control. And so things that seem subtle, it's not just the same thing as arguing or disagreeing. It's that you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to disagree. And that if you violate this, then I have to punish or hurt you in response, or threatening to, I'll hurt myself in response, where if you're feeling like you're walking on eggshells because there's going to be some huge consequence if you step out of line, that's a big red flag.
And I'm sorry, Gia, I was just going to say, once you do get out of the situation, thanks to WINGS, other organizations perhaps, then you're talking about the PTSD that happens and that goes along, I'm assuming, for years and years, and that's where your organization comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're not open yet for residents. We're still getting our building ready, and we have to do fundraising and renovations and everything. But what I learned myself is that during my time at WINGS, I worked on my immediate needs with education, getting financially stable, a lot of things that were external. After I left, all of the stuff in here, that was when I kind of cracked, and all the mental health stuff started becoming very present, and I had to get a lot of therapy, a lot of counseling. And over the many years that I've been volunteering, I see the same pattern among all the women, and so I want to be able to offer some more longer-term solutions to help people navigate the future.
Absolutely, and this is something that affects everyone, both women and men, and this is why it's very important for us to have a call to action. And so how can we help?
I think people get involved and step up and speak out. You forgot to mention the children. People forget that children are watching this, and we serve 2 to 3 times more children every year as adults, and we want those kids to grow up healthy, as Sarah's boys have done because of her strength, and to really go to our website, look at what we're doing, go to Dynamis House, see what they're doing, and if you know someone who's needing help, have them call the statewide hotline.
Well, Rebecca, Sarah, thank you so much for being here and for all the work that you're doing. So amazing. For more information, as we mentioned, head to wingsprogram.com. You can also find them on the socials, the information right there on your screen.
The city would be so depressing without our parks.